I'm Josiah Grace.
I'm Kayla McCarty.
And I'm Maria Hager.
And we're designing a soap dispenser for a restaurant in Houston called the Passing Provisions. It has to be entertaining and unique, and it has to include some sort of kitchen utensil in the final design.
So to accomplish this goal, we've established 6 objectives for our design. And each of them come from talking to our clients to see what they want out of the device. So these objectives are that the device is safe and sanitary, which means that the user can't injure themselves while using the device, and that it doesn't allow the growth of bacteria. The device must be low cost, roughly around under $50, so it's feasible for the restaurant to put into use. It must be easily replicable. The restaurant wants a total of 5 dispensers, so it can't just be something that we make one of and then we're done. It has to be able to be replicated. The device must be entertaining and unique. We talked to the clients and they really stress that this is something that they want the customers at their restaurant to come away from saying, wow, that was really cool. So we want our device to be entertaining and unique. It must be easily refillable so that the employees of the restaurant don't have to spend an inordinate amount of time refilling our dispenser. And finally, it must be very durable because we want our device to last for a long time and it will see a lot of traffic as customers go through the bathroom.
So I guess what we're going to do now is we have our 6 design criteria, but we're not sure which one is the most important or which one that we should put the most emphasis on. So we're going to walk through a PCC chart, which is going to help us rank and decide based off of the information that we gathered while we were interviewing our clients. We're going to decide which objectives are going to be the most important for our project.
So I guess we better get to it. Cool.
Okay, so let's start off by writing out the
Objectives.
objectives down this way. I think we should keep them in the same order too,
Right,
so
yeah.
we'll have some symmetry going.
Okay, I'll write along the top. And you
So
can pick it up.
the
Okay.
first one is safe/sanitary. And I think at the end we're supposed to have a sum so that we can find out like which one's the most important.
Oh, and you can't compare an objective to itself, so these are kind of null.
So I guess we should start by comparing safety to all these other design criteria. If safety is more important than say low cost, then we're going to put a 1.
And then the 0, so these have to match reflecting.
Okay.
All right, so safe and sanitary versus low cost.
I think safe and sanitary is probably more important. Like from what I remember, them telling us the first requirement for being in the bathroom is that it has to be sanitary. Yeah. You can't cut yourself on it.
And there might be codes that they can't install it if it's not safe.
Yeah.
So that's probably pretty important.
I think also, the primary purpose of a soap dispenser is to increase sanitation. So if it's not doing that,
Yeah.
and the project itself doesn't work.
Low cost is good, but if it's if it's going to injure people, then I think they'd rather pay a little more.
Yeah.
Okay, so then this would be a 1 here.
And then I guess we'll put a 0.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because we have to match it. Cool. Yeah.
Be able to make 6 of them, but have them injure people.
And this one's actually interesting. They had mentioned entertaining and unique a lot.
Yeah, that was heavily emphasized when we were talking to them.
Does that still mean that safety is more important, or?
I think that with safety, there's going to be so many people passing through this restaurant that it can there's a high risk associated with any type of safety flaw. So I think it would still have to be more
important. And I think that entertaining and unique is kind of the secondary goal, but I think it first off has to be a functional soap dispenser, which it wouldn't be if it's not safe.
True, because they can't put it in at all if it's not safe.
Right.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Let's give it a 1 then.
So what about durable versus safe and sanitary?
Well, I feel like safe and sanitary comes before durable.
But if we install a soap dispenser that only works for 3 days, then that's not really helping the restaurant at all.
That's true. But it almost seems like though they couldn't get to the point where they actually install it unless we can prove that it's safe and sanitary.
I think that makes sense.
I guess, and also if it breaks, then it's kind of null. But if it injures someone, then that's a negative effect.
Yeah,
so
I think
it's
that's probably a
more
good point.
important, I guess. Okay.
And so we have the sum. Which would be,
5.
I think that did pretty well, but So I guess we'll find out what that means in the end.
And then I guess since these are safety sanitary is consistently better than all of these,
Yeah.
so we have to make these
Oh, yeah, they
kind of
add to one,
symmetric.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
It just goes
let's
down.
fill that in.
Low cost versus entertaining and unique. I feel like for this one, entertaining and unique should win because that's something they really stressed to us is they wanted to be something cool and exciting.
Yeah.
And if they were really stressing low cost over entertaining and unique, they could just like go buy a
Buy
normal soap
something off
dispenser.
the normal liquid soap.
Okay, so low cost is less important.
Yeah.
Easily refillable. Okay. And durable versus low cost.
Well, durable, if it's really durable, it can save them money in the end because they
Right.
only have to pay the fee once.
Yeah.
So I feel like low cost is less important than durable.
Yeah, because it's like a balance, I guess.
I think also for durability, they were saying that it has to withstand 300 uses per day for 5 years, and which is quite a bit of
High
traffic.
standard, yeah.
So
And-
I think we definitely need to focus on that is to save the money in the long run.
Right. Sounds good.
So 0 here and 1 on the. Okay.
Okay, so it looks like low cost ended up with 1 point.
They really heavily emphasize the entertaining unique factor.
Mhm.
That's the primary motivation behind our design.
But they also really emphasize durable. Like they gave us the specific numbers about how much they wanted it to be used. So it's not just like we want it to last some period of time. Like
Yeah.
they have really specific ideas about that, and that's really it's kind of a high standard. So I think we should factor that in too. The criteria is that the two have to add to one, so we can
Yeah,
each make
so they
them
want
one
it to last
half.
for long. Yeah, I think we can do that. So it almost seems like that might be a good idea.
Because like they're kind of
Yeah.
two sides of the same coin.
They like
I think.
dovetail pretty well together.
Yeah.
Kind of the same logic as before. Easily refillable, it's important, but
Yeah.
it's not quite as important as it lasting for a long time.
Okay. So this is 2 and this is 3.5.
Okay. So now I think, we have like scores,
Right.
I guess.
So then ranking them
So
in terms of most important.
yes. So it looks like the first one that we had was safe and sanitary. So it seems like safe and sanitary was like the big winner. I wonder why.
And it's like when we were making it, we didn't even really have to discuss it with each one because we
Yeah.
knew it was gonna win because it's the most important.
I mean, I guess our logic behind choosing safe and sanitary is that the project, even before it gets implemented, it would just be an
Yeah.
automatic failure if
didn't
it
have
wasn't
that.
safe and sanitary.
It's not really like a sliding scale. It's like it has to be safe
Yeah.
and sanitary.
Does that mean that it's a criteria rather than one of our objectives?
Or a constraint.
Or a constraint?
Ooh, yeah.
Because it's like
Oh, yeah.
it's not something like our device could be a little bit more entertaining and unique, but it like it's a line. It has
So
to
it
be
has
safe
to be,
and
yeah.
sanitary.
So I
Yeah.
think that's actually a constraint.
Okay.
So I think
So we should probably label that as like a constraint.
so. We
And-
should not have put that into our
Yeah.
PCC chart.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we finished our PCC chart, we can kind of look at our objectives and see what's most important. One of the things we realized was that safe and sanitary actually turned out to be a constraint with our design because it's something that has to be there before it happens. And so that's why it easily won, and we can kind of move on and remember not to put that on our PCC chart next time. And then we figured out that entertaining and unique and durable kind of dovetailed as our most important objectives. And what that tells us is that the restaurant really wants it to be cool and for it to look cool, but it also wants it to last for a really long time. And so I guess that's what we found out is the most important for our design.
So then the next most important we found was easily refillable. Easily refillable is right above low cost, and it actually, the two of them tie into each other, because if it is easily refillable, it'll save the employees time, which in the long run will help out with cost. And then low cost, we said that's the criteria of $50. While it's still important, we still found that easily refillable would be more important.
And our at the bottom of our list of objectives is easily replicable, and we still think this is really important, but we hope that if we accomplish all the other objectives, it will be less important because it's something that the restaurant won't have to deal with for a really long time. So by doing this PCC chart and creating this list of objectives, we've really given ourselves a very good basis about how to make decisions going forward with our design.